Hey guys, welcome back to Vlogmas Day 7. I'm so excited that you continue to show up. I really appreciate all the support that I'm getting. Today is just going to be a Mail Out Monday video, so if you don't know what Mail Out Monday is, then that must mean that you're new. So welcome to the channel. My name is Crystal, and if you do know what Mail Out Monday is, then that means that you must be returning, and I appreciate you coming back time after time and hanging in there with me because sometimes it gets a little dicey. So today's just going to be a what sold video. I'm just going to tell you a couple things that sold for me over this past week, and hopefully that information will be helpful to you while you're out there sourcing, and you'll have some information in the back of your mind. If you do happen across something that I've already sold, then you'll kind of have like a price range, and my hope is that that's helpful for you while you are out there sourcing. So this is a lot of how I learned. When I was first learning, I watched a lot of what sold videos just to really kind of get a handle on different brands and styles and stuff that were selling for other people. And then I did a little bit of trial and error because, again, not everything that sells for me might sell for you or vice versa. So it's just kind of a baseline, and that's kind of the point of these videos. So if you are liking this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. And also, if you are brand new here or you're returning and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I would really, really appreciate it. It does help the channel out a ton. And yeah, so with all that being said, let's just go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, so we're just going to get right into what sold this week. Sales have been kind of increasing a little bit since November. I think December, this is like the first full week of December, and the sales have been pretty good. They're starting to get back to where they were in October. So if this is your first video, I did address in November that my sales were a little bit slower than they typically are, which is to be expected because people are buying Christmas presents, and I think that that trend will probably continue through December as well. So I have been trying to offset that with some new tag items and different hard goods. I usually do clothes because it's what I'm comfortable with, clothes and shoes. But I have been dabbling into electronics and homeware and different things that you could give for gifts. So trying that out to see if that will help out. But this is my third Christmas reselling, but it's my first time full time. So I'm still kind of working out the kinks of like what is really selling around this time of year. But anyway, what I've been picking up a lot of is shoes, and what's been selling a lot, shoes. So 4 out of the 5 items that I'm going to talk to you about today are shoes, and I think a lot of them you've seen in my huge shoe haul that I did a couple weeks ago. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up here on the screen somewhere. Go back and check that out, and you'll see a bunch of different shoes that I picked up at the Goodwill outlet, and some of them are in this video. So, all right. First thing that we're going to talk about, this actually I've had for a decent amount of time, and I probably wouldn't pick it up again. It sold for a decent amount of money, but it sat for longer than I wanted it to. I don't know. So these are Sam Edelman, and they're like black and pink snakeskin. They're the Felicia Ballet flat, and that's probably one of the only styles of Sam Edelman that I'm picking up at this point because they used to sell for me pretty consistently for around $20 to $25. This one has been sitting for a long time, and I also have another pair that's been sitting for a long time, so maybe the style's just going out. I'm not really sure. So most likely, unless I was at the bins, I probably wouldn't pick this up again. But this pair did sell for $25.88 on eBay. So again, that's right in the average where I expect these to sell, but I really would have rather it sold a little bit quicker than it did. So if you're okay with sitting on items for a little while, I think it's probably six to 8 months for this. So if that's an okay time frame for you and you see these out there, then I mean $25 is pretty good for these. So just make sure that you take all that into consideration when you're thinking about picking anything up, because I like to be transparent with you guys and let you know, like, it may have sold for $30, $25, whatever, but I could have had it for a year or over a year, and so I just want you guys to have all the information. Okay, next thing, this is a very interesting story. So I picked these up at the bins, and I thought that they were going to be good, which, I mean, they were, but they were damaged. So it's a pair of Jordans, and they're like black and red, but they had a lot of scuffing around like the toes and the heel or whatever, but then what I think really did it was the heel, the bottom part, like the sole part, was starting to come undone. And so they would definitely have to be repaired, like professionally repaired. Like it wouldn't be something that you can just like kind of wear with like very minimal issues. Like they were heavily flawed, which I did not know when I picked them up. I probably still would have picked them up though. But I've never sold a pair of Jordans before. I mean, I know that it's a popular brand because I hear about it a lot, but I've never sold a pair. So anyway, I picked them up and I actually ended up putting them up on an auction on eBay because I had no idea what to price them at because I figured they probably still had some value even though they were flawed. So I think I started the auction at $5.99, but I did make sure that the offers button was on, which I don't usually do on my auctions, especially on eBay. But I made sure that the offer button was on, and within an hour, I got an offer for $20. And my starting bid was $5.99. So I went back and forth because I was like, well, if it was so quick, maybe I, could get a little bit more. But then at the same time, I'm like, I really don't want this to be the only offer that I ever get, and if I decline it or counter and they decide not to buy it, I could be sitting on these damaged Jordans for a really long time. So all said and done, I figured they were damaged. $20 is great for a damaged pair of shoes. I mean, I sell non-damaged pairs of shoes for $20 all the time, right? And I did get them at the bin, so I didn't pay a ton for them. They did end up weighing about 3 pounds, so I had, I don't know, $3 and change into them. So still not a bad flip. And they sold very, very quickly. So I didn't have to store them. I didn't have to share them. I didn't have to do any of that. So in the end, I was okay with that. And those were very quick. $3 minus 20 Poshmark fees, probably like $13 profit. Not Poshmark, eBay. Those sold on eBay. So I'd say probably about like $13 to $15 profit on that really quickly. I'm here for that. Next, actually remember telling you guys in that shoe haul that these were going to sit for me for a while, and that was a lie. So this is a SAS, S-A-S. They're comfort shoes, and these were just like leather loafer style like comfort shoes, and they sold for $20 on eBay, and they sold, I'm gonna say within like 2 or 3 weeks. Like I listed them probably the day that video went out, which I think was 2 weeks ago. So not very long at all, and $20, they were very, very light. I think they shipped first class, so less than $1 into them, into $20 in less than 2 weeks. That's great. So if you see SAS, pick them up. I think I did tell you guys before, I used to pick them up all the time, and then they started sitting for me, and so I stopped picking them up for a little while, and then I saw those at the bins, and I was like, I'll give it a shot, and maybe I'll start picking them up more frequently. We'll see. But I think I'm still going to continue to just pick them up at the bins just in case they do sit for a decent amount of time. I wouldn't probably pay $7 or $8 for them, which is like around what my normal Goodwills want for shoes, which for that pair of shoes, I don't think that that's worth it. Now, your profit margins may be different than mine, and that may still be worth it for you. So just make sure that you know your numbers and what your profit margins are, and then you can make your decisions accordingly. Okay, next thing we're going to talk about, also in that video, was a pair of Lucky Brand Basil booties. So if you watch Jack and Ryan on the Jack Valentine channel, you'll know that he picks up Basil booties all the time, which is kind of why I even know what they are. Because Lucky Brand boots don't usually do that good for me. Honestly, Lucky Brand anything doesn't really do that good for me. But I am kind of a sucker, and I still keep picking it up, like being hopeful that it will sell for a decent amount. These were flawed too. They had 2 like really dark black patches or whatever on the toe area, which I showed you in that video. So if you're interested, you can go back and watch that. But these sold for $20, and again, they were damaged, so $20 is good for me. And those were a little bit lighter than the Jordans, so I would say probably 2 pounds, and so I've got about 2 and change into them. And last thing, I'm so excited about this. So you guys, I mean, I feel like I've shown you the majority of the stuff that I've picked up over the past couple months. So I'm sure that every single item is in a thrift haul somewhere, so you can go figure out what I paid for it. But again, I got this at the bins, and this was the high sale of the week, And I was just like so over the moon when somebody finally bought this, because I got a lot of offers on it. I had a lot of offers on eBay, and then they were like international, which I do ship international, so that's not a problem, but they weren't paying. Like, they would make an offer, I would accept an offer, then they wouldn't pay. It would be 3 days, I'd have to relist it, and this went on for a couple weeks. So this actually finally ended up selling on Mercari, which I was really grateful for, because they just automatically paid for it. Mercari's not like eBay where they can allow you to make an offer and then not pay, at least not that I know of. So anyways, this was that plus size NASCAR jacket, I think it was Jeff Gordon, and I'll pop the picture up, but I did show it in another thrift haul video. I think I had it listed for $115, and it was a 3X, which is why I priced it a little bit higher, because it was a plus size. But it was pretty heavily damaged, like, not damaged, but worn. Like, the belly area where the big, like, lettering was at, that was, the threads are starting to pull and everything like that. So it ended up selling for $84, which is crazy. It was 4 pounds, so I did ship it out UPS, which I don't like to do either because I'm lazy. But yeah, so $84 on that is fantastic. So 4 pounds, I got it at the bins, $5 maybe into that, and into $85 is fantastic. So sometimes you get, a $10 profit, and sometimes you get an $80 profit. You really never know what you're going to get at the bins, which is probably, or any other thrift store, honestly, but that's why I love thrifting, and it's just like such an exciting thing, like thrill of the hunt type thing. So anyway, I was really jazzed about that sale. And that is all I have for you guys today. I hope that you're selling a bunch of stuff. I hope that you're not really affected too much by, Christmas slowdown. I hope you've found ways to pivot in your business, as that should be the word of 2020. Even though the word of 2020, according to Webster Dictionary, is pandemic, which, like, it should have been pivot. I don't know. Who do I write about that, Webster? Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. And if you don't know, it's still Vlogmas, so there will be a video out every single day from now until Christmas at 7 p.m. Central Time. And if you're interested in that, make sure your bell notification is on so you get updated when those go live. And I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.